What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Oak Tree Football Channel, and welcome to another 2020 college football schedule breakdown and record prediction video. Today, I'll be doing another ACC team. I'll be doing Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech just missed last year's ACC championship game after they lost to Virginia late in the season. And Virginia, of course, went on to play in the ACC championship game. They were pretty good last year, but it was kind of just above average for them last year. It wasn't anything special, but it definitely wasn't anything bad either. Their quarterback is Hendon Hooker. I think he can be a very, very good quarterback. I think there's a lot of potential there for him. But there is one problem. They don't have great wide receivers. One guy they had last year was Damon Hazelton, who I actually thought could be very good, but he transferred to, I believe, Missouri this year. So they'll be without him, and they don't really have a standout wide receiver, so someone will need to step up there. But I think Hendon Hooker can play well this year, and then maybe a receiver will play well along with that. So just a quick introduction, and let's get into looking at this. They went 8-5 last year, like I said. It's not bad, but it's nothing special either. Their recruiting class was not special. It was ranked the 74th best in the country. That is not good whatsoever. And now getting into the schedule. Week 1, they have a pretty easy game. It's at home against Liberty. This one should be a pretty easy win. They should be able to get an easy win against Liberty. Maybe Liberty can score a few points on them, but really this should not have a challenge whatsoever. This should be an easy win. Week 2, they have a very, very tough game, and it's a very interesting game as well that I'm actually very excited to watch. Penn State versus Virginia Tech. Without a doubt, Penn State is the better team. I think that there's no question there. Penn State is the better team. But Virginia Tech is the home team, which really can change things up because of that, Virginia Tech could definitely win this game, but Penn State could also definitely win this game. Penn State is a very good football team. You got Sean Clifford at the quarterback position, Journey Brown at the running back. Those guys could be fantastic this year. They are losing KJ Hamler. That's the only problem with Penn State. They don't really have a wide receiver, a playmaker at the wide receiver position, but I think that they should be able to run the ball well, and then as a target for Sean Clifford, they have Pat Fryermuth, their tight end. He should be pretty good. I think he's the best tight end in college football, if I'm honest, at least top 3, in my opinion. So Penn State should have a pretty good offense minus the wide receiver position, and their defense is pretty good too with Micah Parsons at the linebacker position. So Penn State is going to have some trouble in this game. I definitely think so. Virginia Tech is definitely going to have some trouble in this game. I think there will be struggles from Penn State as well, but I just think that Penn State is a better team, and they're just too good of a roster. Penn State is consistently good every single year. They're up there as one of the best teams. They will definitely be up there again this year. I could even see them maybe being contending for a playoff spot. If they can beat Ohio State, they can contend for a playoff spot. I'm very interested to see how Penn State plays this season, but I think they will be able to get the win against Virginia Tech, and I just think I'm not counting Virginia Tech out. It's just going to be a very, very tough game. Week 3, they have a pretty easy one. It's on the road, but it's against Middle Tennessee. Like I said, this should be an easy one. They should have no problem here. This should be an easy win. And then same week 4, they played North Alabama. Really shouldn't have a problem here either. This should be an easy win. They should absolutely roll over them because they're the home team. So 3 games Virginia Tech should win. I think they have to win these 3 games. If they don't win these 3 games, something probably went wrong, and they probably won't be great this year. But they should be able to beat Liberty, Middle Tennessee, and Northern Alabama to start the season. Or North Alabama, sorry. If they can beat Penn State, that would be fantastic. I don't think they will, but I'm not counting it out, like I said. Week 5, they have, in kind of easy game again. It's against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, this is a in-conference game, of course, but Georgia Tech shouldn't be too much of a challenge, if I'm honest. This is their first in-conference game of the season. They have their 4 non-conference games first, and then this is their first in-conference game. Georgia Tech is probably the worst team in the ACC. In my opinion, they are. Maybe you can make an argument that someone else is worse. In my opinion, is Georgia Tech, and Virginia Tech really should not have a problem with this game. Maybe Georgia Tech will probably be better, play better than Liberty, Middle Tennessee, or North Alabama, but Georgia Tech is just not good of a football team, and Virginia Tech is, so they should be able to get the win. Week 6, this is a big game, very big game. It's at North Carolina. In my opinion, whoever wins this game will probably go to the ACC championship game, unless Miami can have a really good year. I really think it's between North Carolina and Virginia Tech, maybe Miami, but for me, it's just North Carolina and Virginia Tech. This game is so important, and it's so crucial for North Carolina that they're the home team. That's not good for Virginia Tech, obviously. This should be an entertaining game. It should be fun to watch, but because North Carolina is the home team, they will probably be able to get the win. If Virginia Tech was the home team, I could see Virginia Tech winning. I do think North Carolina is the better team just because Sam Howell is their quarterback. He could be a Heisman Trophy winner this year. They just have so much talent all over that team, both on offense and defense. They will probably be very good this year. And I just think North Carolina is better than Virginia Tech, and I just feel like North Carolina will be able to get the job done, especially because they're the home team in this game. Week 7, they have a bye week. This is a pretty well-placed bye. I think Week 7 is a good spot. You want to end the season right in the middle, and it's coming off one of their toughest games of the season. Maybe Penn State is tougher, but this game's on the road, so against North Carolina, of course. So it is a pretty tough game. Week 8, they play Boston College. This one shouldn't be too tough either. I think Boston College is going to be a pretty average team this year. Not bad, but nothing special either. I think they'll be about 6-6, get that bowl eligibility, but to at best 7-5. Worst, probably 4-5 wins, in my opinion. I think it'll be somewhere around 5-6, 4-6 wins or something like that for Boston College this season. In my opinion, it's probably 5 or 7 or 5 or 6. So Boston College really shouldn't put up too much of a challenge for Virginia Tech. Maybe they can score some points, but if Boston College was at home, this would be a lot more of an interesting game. But just because Virginia Tech is the home team, I really think that they should be able to get the win here. Because Boston College doesn't really have any huge players, especially now that they're losing A.J. Dillon, who, of course, was drafted by the Green Bay Packers. They don't really have any huge playmakers. Sure, they have guys that can get the job done, but they're going to need more, I think. So I think Virginia Tech will win that one. Week 9, very tough game once again. It's against Louisville. Louisville is a team that some people think will be good and some people think will be just average. In my opinion, I think they'll be good. I think Michael Cunningham, their quarterback, will be fantastic this year, both as a runner and as a passer. And then their running back, Javian Hawkins, was really, really good last year. I think he can be really, really good again. So I'm looking at Louisville to be a very good team this season, especially on offense. And Louisville is a home team, which is why I think that this is going to be a tough one for Virginia Tech. It's just so unfortunate that I would say their two toughest in-conference games against North Carolina and Louisville are both on the road. That's just extremely unfortunate. If they were at home for any of these games, they could win. I think if they were at home against Louisville, they would get the win. But because Louisville is the home team, I think that Louisville will win. I'm not counting out Virginia Tech. I could see Virginia Tech winning. I just think that Louisville has a lot of talent, and because they're the home team, that talent will be enough to get them the win in that one. So I do believe that Louisville will be able to get the win. Week 10, they have another road game. It's against Pitt. This one, Pitt, some people don't think Pitt will be great this year. I think they'll be competitive in the ACC. I don't think they're going to be anything fantastic, but I think they can be pretty competitive, stay close to some good teams like Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is a short week going into this game, only a few days of rest before the Pitt game, and it's on the road, which is going to be tough. This is going to be a really tough game. Virginia Tech is definitely the better team in my opinion, and if it was at home for them, even with some short rest, they would be able to get the job done. But because they have short rest, because Pitt is the home team, that makes it a lot more interesting. I still think Virginia Tech should be able to get the win, but I would not be surprised if they got upset by Pitt. The Week 11, they have Miami. I talked about Miami to be a team that I think could contend in the ACC for an ACC championship game this season, just because they're bringing in D'Ara King. They have been pretty good for these past few years. I don't expect them to be great, though. They'll probably be good, probably about third in the division, but I don't think they'll be fantastic. And I do think because Virginia Tech is at home, they should be able to win. Maybe Miami can win. I wouldn't be surprised because these are both very good teams, and because Virginia Tech is the home team, I think Virginia Tech is the favorite, but like I said, there's still a possibility for Miami. Week 12, they have Duke. They should be able to win this game, but I just feel like they could get upset here. I feel like Virginia Tech might get upset later in the season, like against Pitt, against Duke. Maybe even you can consider the Miami game to be an upset. I feel like they will get upset later in the season, and this would be the biggest upset later in the season because Duke is probably the worst team they play here later in the year. I'm not saying Duke is bad. They're just not as good as Miami and Pitt and even Virginia Tech. I am pretty high on Duke. I think they will be pretty good this season, maybe 6-6, 5-7. I think they'll be close to bowl eligibility or even at bowl eligibility because they do have talent. They're nothing special, obviously. But they are the home team in this game, which is why I think it will be a very interesting game. Virginia Tech should be able to win, and I think they will win. But I do think it's a possibility Duke will win this one. And then week 13, you got Virginia. Virginia ruined their chances of going to the ACC championship game last year, but this year I think that Virginia Tech should be able to win. Virginia is just losing so much talent, and they won't be as good as last year. And I feel like the ACC, as Virginia lost talent, the rest of the division and just the ACC as a whole, I just feel like it got stronger. So I really cannot see Virginia winning this game. I think it'll be Virginia Tech, especially because they're at home. Now, as I always do, I'll go through each game once again, and I'll give my prediction for who I believe will win. Week 1, that's an easy win for Virginia Tech. Week 2, I'm taking Penn State. Penn State's just too good to me. I could see Virginia Tech winning because they're at home, but Penn State is just too good in my opinion. I think they'll beat Middle Tennessee and North Alabama very easily. I think they'll be able to beat Georgia Tech, and then I think they'll lose to North Carolina. North Carolina is just such a good football team. I don't think they're as good as Penn State, but they're still a very good football team, and they are the home team for this game. North Carolina is the home team, so I just can't see Virginia Tech winning. I'm taking North Carolina. Then they have the bye, and then I think they'll beat Boston College, and then I think they'll lose to Louisville. I think that Virginia Tech and Louisville are pretty evenly matched, and maybe even Virginia Tech is better. I just think that because Louisville is the home team, I think they'll win. And I think they will be able to win the rest of the games for the rest of the year. Maybe they'll struggle against Duke, Miami, maybe even Virginia or Pitt. I think they'll struggle in some of those games, but I think they will be able to get the wins to give them a record of 9-3 on the year. Best case for them, probably 10-2, I would say. Maybe they can go 11-1 if they can beat Penn State at home and then beat Louisville. They could definitely beat Louisville. I feel that North Carolina game they won't win because North Carolina is such a good team and Virginia Tech is on the road. They could beat Penn State at home. They could beat Louisville even though they're on the road. But they could also get upset by someone like Duke, like I said, like Pitt. So there's a lot of games they could lose. Worst case, probably 6-6. In my opinion, probably lose at Pitt, Miami, and then either at Duke or Virginia. That's worst case for me. So I think they will be back to a bowl game this season, without a doubt. I think it will be back to a bowl game. And my prediction is 9-3. I think Hendon Hooker will be very good. I just think that there are holes in the team that need to be filled before this can be a serious contender in college football as a whole. I think they can contend in the ACC, but there's going to need to be some more before they can contend in college football. So those are my thoughts on Virginia Tech for this year. What are your guys' thoughts? Tell me in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe for more daily NFL and college football content. And if you enjoyed this video, check out some of my other videos so you can see more. If you want to see more, go check some other ones out. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.